Alright, some more response videos. Yay! To be serious, and Barklord has made another 40-second video.
Quick video response to gloom, boom, doom.
Okay, so the way Jesus would take care of somebody, protect them from harm, he would put them out on public display and say, this woman has a bleeding problem and, her period all the time and she's all skanky and smelly.
Okay, why don't you just deal with the fact that I didn't do anything like that?
Yeah, you did exactly that. That's all you did. You're going to keep lying about it? I mean, this is, I haven't seen somebody piss themselves like this since, years back with The Amazing Atheist. I mean, you're slipping all over your own piss. All right? I mean, it's clear what you were up to here. You intended no good. You took somebody who's a novice on YouTube talking about, in some of her videos, about getting comfortable in front of the camera. And what did you do? You gave her every reason now to be even more paranoid about, I got to be careful what I say because some asshole out there is going to make me look like a fucking idiot for no good reason just because he's got a spiteful vendetta against somebody else. And that's all you fucking did. And you know that's the goddamn fucking truth. You did not give a motherfucking rat's ass about Pink Moon. All you cared about was attacking me. Period, fucker, and you goddamn know it. And to say anything else, you're just a fucking liar.
Why don't you deal with the fact that she herself said that my perception of her video was understandable?
Yeah, she was just cutting you some fucking slack because she didn't know who the fuck you were. Alright, she even said that in her comments. After she saw some of your videos, she basically retracted her courtesy to you, you fucking asshole. Are you going to read that too? But that's irrelevant to my comment to you. Alright, my comment to you is it seems quite preposterous to me. I cannot imagine that if I sincerely cared about somebody who I thought was being manipulated by some cult ideology, that I would put them on public display and basically attempt to humiliate them as an example. Look at these idiots that are these sycophants of this fucking guy. See how dangerous he is. He's mind controlling these poor victims. You didn't pick one of her videos where she was arguing in defense of the philosophy. No, you chose this particular video because it was personal, because it had some sort of connection between human beings. And you resent that connection between human beings when it has something to do with other people's connections and not your own fucking connections. And that's the kind of weasel you fucking are, and you've been displayed for what you fucking are. You're a petty, miserable motherfucker.
Why don't you deal with the fact that she did not in the least feel bullied or picked on?
Yeah, well, why don't you ask her that question again, okay, now that she knows what a fucking asshole you are. And maybe she'll tell you that it didn't make her feel one bit goddamn good when she saw your motherfucking video. Didn't make her feel anything like more comfortable or more confident. Not one good feeling probably went through her fucking neurology after seeing your fucking hatchet job, you motherfucking prick.
Why don't you deal with that, Gary?
Yeah, well, why don't you deal with the truth, fucker? You're running away from it desperately. You don't want to see the goddamn truth that you are exactly as described. A miserable, motherfucking, reckless, idiotic jackass who has no fucking clue what he's doing on this goddamn planet.
You're a joke.
Yeah, you're a joke. You're the life that's meaningless. Mine's the one that has fucking meaning, ironically. You're the one pretending to have a life. I'm the one living a life that means something. Because I actually give a fuck. And I'd actually not treat a human being like you did, you motherfucking prick. So fuck you. Again. Some more. Repeatedly. Oh, and let's see, the comments are just priceless here. It's all the same fucking assholes. Broken mech. Right? He puts in LOL when he said people wouldn't let him say 6 million Jews died, weren't gassed in the Holocaust. It's nice to know that he reads my comments. What does this have to do with your comments, asshole? This Holocaust thing's been around long before you stupid dumb prick. I haven't read one of your comments in a fucking year. And that's a fact, jackass. Who the fuck gives a damn of your existence? Dana Garrett, another marvelous human being of huge integrity, of great intellectual integrity. He is such a joke. The fact that he has any followers at all, again, irrelevant. Much less a fanatical disciples he somehow manages to acquire. So all my subscribers are fanatical disciples. Yeah, fuck you. It's just exactly, okay? You can't attack me, you can't attack my message, and now you're going to attack the people who sit there and might find something I say meaningful or to represent something they have felt. So that's exactly the motives of these petty weasels. Is a measure of how much of the YouTube environment is pathological. So that's it. Just call them all pathological because they don't believe what you do, you stupid cunt. And then you're going to talk about how people should be free thinkers and how people should be able to express themselves and all this other kind of crap. And you're just going to fucking write them all off as pathological. Fuck you, this tranquil asshole. Another fucking jackass who can't even prevent himself from accidentally knocking up his girlfriend, yet he's going to tell everybody else what to think. I remember one of Gary's videos where he says he is willing to die. Now, I've said I'm willing to get tortured, okay, for my ideas, okay? I'm willing to be tortured, asshole. Dying is nothing. Torture is something. I've said I wouldn't mind being publicly gutted on the goddamn street, okay? Gutted. If I was wrong about my contentions about the education system and about a lot of other goddamn things. That he is so sure that he is right, that he would bet his life, no, I'd bet my welfare on it, I'd bet my fucking welfare. But he has no dogmas. Yeah, well, what are they, asshole? Again, you can't recite these dogmas, you can't tell me what these dogmas are, for your fucker, right? No, he's not religious or fanatical at all. Well, yeah, that says it, right? Yeah, that proves it, because you said it. Yeah, okay, yeah, what's the dogma again? Recite it to me, please? Oh, that's right, you don't got nothing. Okay, and then Broken Mac again. So you always got to make more than one comment. You know, that's because weasels have to do that. Syphilis, yeah, and Upius, LOL, sorry. I heard Gary mispronouncing those names. Oh man, that's so critical, man. You mispronounce the phantasmagorical unicorn speak. Oh my fucking God, what a tragedy. I can say the word unicorn though. I know what a unicorn is. The fact that I can't pronounce how the unicorn farts, well, who the fuck cares? You know how much I just don't give a fuck about some asshole pushing a boulder up a fucking goddamn hill? That's right, I read science books, okay? I read books about what the facts are. I don't read phantasmagorical little fairy stories like you poofters. But I know I should be trolling your comments. I'm really enjoying the direction this whole conversation is taking. So am I. Really am enjoying it because all these assholes have shown themselves to be the deceptive weasels that they are. The dishonesty is grotesque. Like I said, ask yourself the honest question. If you really believe that somebody was being manipulated by a cult, they had a 2-month-old YouTube account, all right, and had videos expressing their discomfort in front of the camera and how they're just trying to get comfortable. Would you take that person, use them as an example to attack a cult or a cult leader? Would you do that to somebody if you cared about them, if you gave a shit about their welfare? Ask the question to yourself honestly, and if you can honestly say you would have behaved the way Barklore behaved, then I'm just going to declare you a motherfucking cunt asshole, because that's what you fucking are. Alright, the end. Fuck you. Fuck off, you retarded motherfucking lying piece of shit. Alright, on to be serious. Answers. And I said, why didn't you answer her questions, Barklord? Why did you waste this 40-second video saying absolutely nothing? Right? Saying, well, look, Pink Moon isn't hitting me with a frying. I don't give a fuck. If what Pink Moon can do, it's her own business how she handles it. Alright? And you're kind of putting her in an awkward position. Because why does she want to even get involved in this fucking drama? Right? She can't, you know, again, on a video that you have no business forcing her to defend. No business whatsoever. You're just a censor. You're just trying to shut people up, shut people down. You evil motherfucker. So anyway, why didn't you have the balls, like at least to be serious, had the balls to answer the questions? Why don't you answer the fucking questions? You fucking piece of shit. But anyway, her answers are just preposterous. I don't think I'll do the comments. We'll see how much time we have. Just gotta get through the video. I didn't realize 12 minutes. Oh no, that's too long. I'll have to jump maybe.
Hi there, this is a response to Pink Moon. She had a video in which she asked Barklord 3 questions.
We'll jump.
Experiment. It might make sense for everybody to be do what I'm doing, and that is to try to answer the questions just as you would.
Yeah, but why didn't you answer them with real answers? I mean, you say you just did this spontaneous. What's the point of that, right? I mean, I spent my whole life developing my philosophy. You know, so it's not just something thrown together. Yeah, I mean, it's thrown out. The way I produce it is thrown out. But, I mean, I understand what I'm going to say before I say it, in a sense. I mean, the understanding's already built into my friggin' psychology. You know, so if you're going to respond to somebody's accusation that life doesn't have a purpose, you ought to have something sort of ready.
Without any script, without a lot of thinking. Just look at them cold and try to answer them, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm also...
Yeah, exactly. What's the point of that, though? Because this is a nothing answer. It's absolutely nothing.
So I'm going to talk about, there'll be a link in the low bar. Tranquil87 had some questions for, I don't know if he said aphilists or antinatalists, and I thought those were good as well. So they're both in the low bar, and I would invite everybody to look at Pink Moon's video and to...
You know, why don't you people deal with our questions? We only got like 2 of them, you know, like how you defend the imposition. Okay, like how many people have to raise their hand and say, I'd rather not have been, before you will allow them to say, don't make any more.
To try to answer the questions, not as you've heard them answered, because they have been answered multiple times here. And they usually tend to be answered.
I missed that part, okay? I really haven't heard any good answers to this. So how do you undo consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction? With what? Where's the good answer been? That there's some inevitable purpose, that you're going to do something else in what, George Jetson land? Well, as I remember, George Jetson had all kinds of fucking problems in his life, too. And there was no rats, so I guess I didn't see too many fucking animals in the Jetsons. So it looked like they were pretty much all wiped out there, too.
Exactly the same way, by the same people. But to answer them cold, the way you would answer them if you were confronted with them, and they were the first time that you had even encountered the question, which is what I'm going to try to do. And
Get to it. Thank you. Thank you.
If life is not about consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction, then what is your definition? This is, as I said, it's Amendam's wording. It's the way he's often presented the question. And basically, it's a question about if there is or is not any purpose to existence. And the truth is, of course, that the universe is an unconscious place. It's a place that we inhabit. It cares not whether we're here or life is here.
Well, that's really not the issue. We all do know that. Okay, so really that's a kind of a nothing. But the real point is what service do we play? What role do we play? What need do we serve by being here? Do we serve a need? Not whether the universe thinks, but does the universe do anything? Is there any way we can possibly be necessary? Necessary enough to justify the harm?
In general, it doesn't care. And the struggle for existence, which Darwin pointed out very eloquently, is one that seems extremely brutal and extremely competitive in ways that are disconcerting to our
yeah, to our rational sensibilities. Yeah, that's right. We have a hard time figuring out any rational excuse for this bullshit. So I'll ask you a sincere question here, okay? Another one. What's your end game? I mean, how many rodents are on planet Earth right now? You're good at getting statistics. Go find how many rodents exist on any one day on planet Earth. All right, and they live what? And figure out the average lifespan, which is probably with carnage and predation a few months, right? I mean, they probably don't live much more than a year. All right, and you explain to me how you're going to improve their life in the future, how you're going to fix their circumstance, how you're going to make that life worth living. All right, this little horrid, paranoid, crappy, shitty life that these animals live all the time. They live 7 months to reproduce and then die horribly usually. Like I had to kill a chipmunk, okay, a few weeks ago, spinning around in circles, bouncing up and down the ground, completely out of its mind. You know? It's horrible to look at, horrible to watch, horrible to imagine living that life. Is that where you want consciousness to spend another million years? Are you accomplishing something to justify it? I don't think so.
Consciousness, and should be. You see a lot of suffering and death in the process of the propagation of life. Absolutely. You'd have to.
So all this premise is for what purpose? You're basically acknowledge that it's a big shithole, and what are you doing that for? To some way just to manipulate the argument to say that I'm acknowledging it when you're not acknowledging it? I mean, how do you excuse it? What is the other side to this? What is it? What's the value you're saying that is so friggin' precious that we have to create it? We have to keep perpetuating the game when we can just easily, without any fucking burden, let go of it.
Be blind not to know that's true, and not to care about it. You'd have to be you'd have to be extremely callous.
Well, what are you going to do with this care? Explain to me what good your care does. All right, care that can't be put into action, in my opinion, is absolutely useless. So if you're saying your care doesn't have any solution, then screw your care. Yeah, you might as well not do it.
So I do think that any thinking, feeling human being cares and looks at what happens and
again, this is a value equation. The argument has wrapped into it. These are all words of value meaning. Okay, they're intended to imply value. Okay, we consume. Many times we consume things of value, things that are sentient. Okay, we reproduce. Well, it's questionable. Cannibalism. I mean, it's meant to imply that we're consuming something of equal value to ourselves. Addiction. A definition of a value that is a distortion, a perversion, that it isn't about the real value of the thing. It's about a perception of value that is false. I mean, deal with the value. So saying care over and over doesn't explain exactly what good that is.
Wants to do something about it. The question is, what happens when we phrase that to ourselves as consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction? We are already talking about things that are not objective in the sense of objective.
Oh, right. So you're saying they're not the truth. It's not the truth that the DNA molecule is completely wrapped into these two functions, consumption and reproduction. And that for living things that are mobile, it's about this cannibalism thing, this eating not even long-term, not even that far away relatives of yours. You will be consuming sentient life as consuming sentient life. And this is a lie. These words are a lie somehow. They're a distortion, a perversion. They're not accurate. Well, if you're going to claim that, then you're going to have to provide some evidence. This word addiction, this thing desire. You're not saying that desire isn't manipulating perception, that it's not creating an illusion of value, an illusion of necessity and need that we have to guard against. No, that's not possibly happening. I mean, realistically, you're going to say there's something wrong with one of these words? Well, then say it directly, please.
Facts. But that aside, it's true that we should care, and we do care. I mean, most of us care that there's...
Okay, well, again, what good is this care? We're talking about a value equation. So you tell me this other thing you care about that is so friggin' important. What, petting your dog? Going to the theater? I mean, how many Jews in a concentration camp is that worth? I mean, how many times do you have to go to the theater and then you pay one concentration Jew? I mean, you know, how many glorious nights at the music hall does it take, you know, before you make up for that suffering? Please.
Suffering. What can we do about caring? Well, does it make sense? Is it possible to say that because we care, we should eradicate erase, extinguish all life. Is that a possibility?
No. The question is it the rational course? If you have something that's broken, fundamentally broken, if you have a roller coaster that throws a kid off every 1,000 times down the track, do you keep running it or do you turn it the fuck off? If you have a nuclear power plant that goes critical and melts down every 10,000 days, do you keep running it or do you shut it down? If you have a space shuttle that's going to blow the hell up 1 in 70 launches, or and spacewalkers that are vulnerable to getting hit by space garbage, do you keep maintaining an idiotic space program, or do you rationally say, yeah, it's time to shut this one down?
I don't know for sure if it's a possibility. I do know that I don't think it makes a lot of sense to try to do it, and here's why.
Oh, good.
Life is everywhere on the planet. Life is everything that we have ever known as
irrelevant and irrelevant, so keep trying.
Human beings. And we are in the position of, would all of us ever agree to extinguish?
Oh, mush again. Does everybody agree that we should have laws against child molesting? No, there's people who don't agree. So what's the point of this? This is mush. This isn't a fucking answer. It's mush.
And eradicating all life. I think, and I feel this way very strongly, I care as much, I think, as it's possible to care. I hope I do. I try.
Yeah, so that's just a claim. Okay, so let's all do that then. I'll call you a coward, but you're going to do that later. And then I'll say, I care more than you care. Ha, 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 ha. And what the hell is that? That's not an answer to the question. I care, but I don't care enough to stop rolling the syphilis ball up the fucking hill. So what the hell does that mean? I care enough not to. I certainly care enough not to keep rolling boulders up stupid hills for no fucking reason. That's right. I care enough not to keep rolling those boulders over those 4 little rats.
I too. But I don't think I would agree to eradicate all life because it...
Yeah, you're not going to do it because. You're just not. It's going to be another because that is a because. That's why. Because. The wizard says it was.
The reason I don't is because I think we're going to be in the future not what we are in the past.
So it is going to be the Jetsons. Oh, cool. I'm going to have like a car in my suitcase and stuff, and it's going to be like a little robot world, except they're going to go a little wacky and they're going to be kind of tubby. Oh, please. We're not going to be what we are. So what are we going to be? Morlocks or whatever the other ones were called, right? I mean, what's the sense in this? You're going to get rid of all the racial hatred. You're going to get rid of all the competition for resources. You're going to get rid of all the competition over, mates and concubines or whatever you want to call it. You're going to get rid of all this ego stuff that drives us, our competitive nature. Yeah, you're going to eradicate all that stuff. Yeah, right, I'm sure. And then what are we going to do? We're going to sit around in a room and drool on each other. Fine, fantastic. Let's leave the rats. You go find out how many a day die. Let's leave them to their horror, their Holocaust, while you just sit around a room, sucking in laughing gas and drooling on yourselves. Fine, fantastic.
And the inequity and the disjunct between suffering and existence might and could very likely.
Might and could and very likely. So it's very likely that we're heading for a bright and promising shiny city on the hill. That's where we're very likely going. Right? Even though there's not one single circumstantial fact pointing to that. Right? There's every indication that we're going to have the next war is going to be a drone war. We're just going to start killing civilians outright. We're not even going to bother having military men. We're just going to kill the people in the other country. Fuck this, right? Fine. The last 2-3 wars, what have we done? We just go out and assassinate the leaders. We've glorified and defended warfare through assassination.
Be helped in the future. To give up, it is a struggle. It's a struggle. It, to me, is braver and smarter.
Oh yeah, you're the brave ones. Well, I think it's cowardice in the extreme. To run under the dogmatic old religious blankie of life is here for a reason and a purpose, and it's actually functional. The argument here is consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction with these sentient organisms can't be functional. It's tic-tac-toe. It can only be played by dumb animals. It can't be played by a smart animal.
And a stronger position to say that we as a species, as a human being, flexible species capable of making changes to our world if we put our minds to it.
Changes to do what? Again, fill your belly. Enjoy the special super 2050 edition of the Lay's potato chip. With special particle super nuclear radiation salt on it or something, right? Special, Fukushima salt.
Should not give up without a struggle. To try to
give up without a struggle. The human race has been struggling the whole friggin' time it's been here. Right? Give up without a struggle? What the hell are you talking about? All it's been is a fucking struggle. And are we winning the struggle? Oh, that's right. We're completely losing the struggle. We got peak oil and peak population. Okay? And peak rich ownership of the world. Right. So on all these metrics, we're complete fail in our struggle. And so we should just keep doing it. Throw some more soldiers, right? You're like a general. Just say, no, throw some more. Just use them up. I still got some more over here to throw into the fucking pit of hell. So yeah, let's just keep using them up.
Care about each other and to care about animals that suffer. And to try to do something. Yeah,
and try to do something. Like what? What are you going to do? You're going to give all the little rodents a nice cushy couch, and you're going to give them all some psychotherapy so they know not to be paranoid and afraid anymore? Is that what you're going to do? You think that's going to work? I don't think so.
About it. To give up without a struggle.
To give up against some more rhetoric like you're the cowards and the wimps and the pussies because you're not going to sit there and just keep on throwing your children to the jaws of death. Yeah, right. I mean, that's just such crap. You can't give up your selfish delusions. All right, your selfish delusions of grandeur, like there is something to be accomplished here besides satisfying your ego. There is nothing. What do you want, future generations to exist so they can watch your videos after you're dead or something? What the fuck are you after? Do you really think the average composite human being is worth something to be? You aspire to be the average fucktarded jackass human being? You're happy and proud to think about the human race going forward and rooting for its home teams? Oh, God. Make me sick.
Seem to me to make sense. It just doesn't.
Well, that's not an argument either. The fact that something doesn't make sense to you doesn't surprise me, frankly.
But to realize that in saying that, it's a tough decision, and it's one that we should be taking very seriously.
Well, how have you taken it very seriously? You've called it a cult. You've ridiculed and maligned every bit of the conversation. You've basically argued that you've completely defeated the argument with all your great arguments that have already been made. So how the fuck is that encouraging the conversation? Oh, that's right, it's not. Interesting.
Which brings me to the third question.
What happened to the second one? Question 1.
What do you think the future is going to be like? That's a really good question. I really like it. And we're all guessing. Okay, each and every one of us who will venture out on the thin ice of trying to tell.
Well, what's the point even saying something like that? Yeah, we're all guessing, but there's things called educated guesses and complete fucktarded guesses. So if somebody guesses that we're all gonna ride pink dragons and sing Rawhide, well, they're probably full of shit.
Those are people what the future is going to be are making guesses. But I'm guessing by looking at the fact that human beings are a flexible, smart species when we want to be, and we're creative.
When we want to be. What a joke. No, we're all those things when we're full of greed and desire and avarice and want. Yeah, that's right. Then we're quite industrious. Yes. And we build all kinds of little Gucci handbags and such. And purebred little dogs with poofy little tails.
When we want to be. And I don't think the past is the future. I think that the past doesn't have to be the future, at least.
Oh, yeah, but we're going to break that. We're going to break that mold. And what's going to break that mold is the special coming of the special come stuff. Right? The special coming of the Care Bear. The Care Bear is going to change it all. Barney the dinosaur and the Care Bear are going to transformagamize the whole human psyche, and it's all of a sudden going to become some kind of lovey-dovey, friendly little poofy. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yes, I mean, the past, there have been times when, as the cliche goes, the living have envied the dead, and the future could be that as well. But it doesn't have to be. It's not written yet. And it means that...
Yeah, so all you're saying is hopey-popey, hopey-bopey, hope. You're not making a rational argument why there's any reason to bother with that hope stuff, why you have any realistic prospect of creating any kind of heaven. You're not describing even what it would look like. What exactly is your perfect world look like, please? Because I probably don't want a seat in it.
We can, if we care about each other, and that means about everything, our environment and other animals, if we can learn, at least.
Yeah, care again. What good is our care? I'm very concerned about the elephants, baby elephants getting eaten alive by the lions, and I'm very caring about all the other crap that's going on, even these rats and rodents I'm talking about. I care. What good is that doing? What good is it doing them? Not a goddamn bit of good. So care without some sort of solution doesn't mean shit. Alright? And if your solution is we'll just continue to care, but we'll just keep eating our fucking hamburgers and rubbing our bellies, what the fuck is that? It's not a solution. It's not an answer. It's nothing.
To care about each other. We don't have to accept the future being a futile, useless, horrible, dysfunctional place.
Yeah, and we shouldn't even recognize it as being the probability, right? No, we should just, pretend. No, it's not realistic that that's what human beings will do. We can't just admit it's fucked. No, we have to keep pretending it's not fucked, so we can keep getting fucked forever.
We don't have to do that because changes happen all the time, and changes for the better happen very often.
Right, and we're arguing that the best change we can make is we just convince people to let it go. Let it go. You don't need it. You really don't.
Not often enough yet, and that's the absolute truth. Not often enough, but we can care, and if we care, we don't have to say...
Well, again, this is just stupid. Anti-natalists aren't against caring. The whole fucking point is they care. They care enough to say it's got to stop. You got to fix it. We can't keep talking about fixing it. We actually have to fix it. So unless you have some alternative plan to fix it, this one sounds pretty damn good to us.
The only two choices are either suffering or non-existence, or the eradication of all life.
Well, if you don't, again, you don't want to accept the basic facts of evolution. That's how we've been designed. We're not designed to be satisfied. We're designed to be motivated and dissatisfied. We're designed to chase, to run, to swat spokes in a little friggin' wheel. We're designed to see illusionary value in crap. Okay? That's why people are eating other sentient animals. It's because they haven't figured out that it's a delusion in their stupid brain that that's something you should eat.
There is a third choice, and that third choice is to realize how flexible we are and how smart we are and how caring we can be, and to
even this is just bullshit. If you look, even great intellectuals of the past couldn't get along. I mean, Einstein fought with all kinds of people. All these, this argument of compatibility is just such bullshit. There's so little example of it. I mean, you hear stories of where, even Buddhists, will sit there and kill each other because somebody, tried to burn themselves to death before the other guy. I mean, he spoiled his burning himself to death. This is just bullshit. This has nothing to do with human nature and has nothing to do with animal nature. It's just a fallacy and a fantasy because you just can't let go of the unicorn.
Try to do things that will make a difference. And yes, individually, our little efforts might seem like not much, but the cliche acting locally and think globally, act locally. If you do care as an individual.
Well, why don't you show how any of that crap has ever worked? Well, it isn't just that. It's a cliche. It's a cliche with no fucking substance whatsoever. Would you show me where that's worked? Where that accomplished anything ever? I mean, that's just bullshit. There's no I stopped the Labor Day parade here? Yeah, that fixes the rat problem. Yeah, they're all doing really well then. I mean, this is just bullshit.
And you want to make a change, and you work in your community.
All you're saying is just keep making Band-Aids. That's how we've always done it. We don't cure any problems, we just make Band-Aids. So just go to your work, make your Band-Aids, make Band-Aids, make Band-Aids, make Band-Aids. Well, screw that. I'm not fucking goddamn your Band-Aid slave. I'm a little bit fucking sick of it. I can feel that I've been here for a long fucking time and I'm long sick of this shit.
See that change happen. That's the most as individuals with limited power. Most of us.
Well, I aspire higher. Okay, I'm gonna shoot further and farther than that. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I got a bigger one than that.
Able to do, but we should be able to do it well. And if we all of us did that, and that includes things like seeing how we could get a grip on population. There are far too many of us on the planet, all right? So we could educate women. That's a great way to...
Yeah, well, why don't we just educate all of them then? Why don't we just educate all of them to let it go? Okay, you want to educate most of them or half of them to reduce population? I'm saying, well, if you can do half, do all. No harm done there. We finished the job. Yep, all clean. Yeah. So, I mean, if half of them can give it up, all of them can give it up.
Bring down numbers, population numbers. We can individually say that if we feel this way, the planet is overstressed, it doesn't need any more human beings. That's an individual choice that makes a big difference.
Well, I don't think it needs any human beings, okay? No, it doesn't need more. It doesn't need any, okay? And that's the fucking truth here. And it's a truth you're not refuting with a rational argument.
And it's a choice that... And it's a choice, by the way. As far as I'm concerned, it's a choice. And it's one that you have to use persuasion to get other people to think about. So.
Oh, okay. So why don't we make rape a choice? We'll make wife beating a choice. We'll make, we'll let the states decide whether women should be able to drive or whether they should be able to vote. Yeah, let's make it all back to being a choice again. All those little insignificant things. If we can't decide these big things, there's no way we should let these little things be decided. Hell no.
That might mean making it possible for people in developing countries to make those choices, not to have big families, and doing it, as I said, by educating women or educating.
Yeah, well, good luck with that one.
Just individuals in general, and giving people resources that will really make a difference.
Yeah, why don't we just pay them not to have fucking kids?
Because we care about them. And, you know, that, as I said, I did this cold and without a script. And so it's a disjoint and it's rambly, and I apologize for that. Now, as far as
it's practically
whether
useless.
is a cult or not, if you're an ethicist, you can self-define any way you choose to self-define. If you think you're being encouraged to think for yourself, and you still want to classify yourself.
Well, what is this stupid self-defining anyway? So no one can call you an atheist unless you say you're an atheist? I mean, it's just stupid.
So, as an ethicist, I have no objection. I don't think anybody would.
It's not the subject.
So do whatever you think you want to do. But the critical thing here is try. All of us should, not just ethicists and antinatalists, but all of us should try to think for ourselves.
Well, how do you do that exactly, okay? You're the one who's always linking to somebody else's commentary, some other book author, some friggin' person that you say knows this shit. You're doing that constantly, constantly. How is that thinking for yourself? Shit.
And not be told what to think, because that just leads to outcomes that, you know, don't take us to good places, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, well, you're telling people what to think. You do it all the time. So, whatever on this bullshit. You're just saying it's okay for me to tell people what to think. It's just not okay for you to tell people what to think. Yeah, a fair cop there.
So, try this yourselves, if you have the time. And take a look at Pink Moon's video and take a look at Tranquil 87. Both of them, I think, are first steps in a very good direction, or at least.
Yeah, whatever. Tranquil's a lunatic. So until he learns how to be a little more polite, I'm not watching his video.
That's my opinion. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Hi there. This is.
Yeah.